Bloating isn't what bothers you the most. What bothers you is that it keeps showing up and you don't fully understand why. You feel it when it's there. I mean, that part is not confusing. But what doesn't line up is the cause. One day you wake up and everything feels normal, and the next day, by mid-afternoon, your waistband feels like it's about to slice through your stomach. And it's not painful, it's just uncomfortable. Uncomfortable enough that you're mentally negotiating how long until you can change into your lounge pants. And the thing is, you didn't eat anything unusual, you didn't do anything obviously different, and yet, here it is again. So when the same symptom keeps showing up without a clear reason, the issue isn't bloating. It's not knowing what to adjust next. That's what makes it so frustrating. Not the bloating itself, but the unpredictability of it. Welcome to the Decode Your Body podcast. I'm your host, Tasha Miller. For female entrepreneurs, time and attention matter. Managing symptoms that don't make sense costs both. You already know how to lead, and this is where that leadership extends to your health. You are the CEO of your body. Now, when bloating shows up, your mind goes to the most logical place, food. You start thinking about your meals. Well, that was normal. I've eaten that before. That one didn't bother me last week. But you're looking for something specific, something concrete you can point to and say, there, that is what is explaining it. Because once you can name the cause, you know how to respond. But the frustration is that nothing fully changes anything. The bloating doesn't follow just one rule. It doesn't show up every time, and it doesn't behave the same way twice, which is why food keeps feeling like the answer, but never the explanation. And this shows up when you're already putting in the effort, but you don't know why the bloating keeps showing up. Here's the pattern that I see over and over. Bloating starts one day, but just enough that you don't rush to fix it. It's just there. And you notice it when you get dressed in the morning and you slide on your pants. The waistband feels tight when you do up the button and you think, dang, dryer must have shrunk these pants a little bit. So you use your hands to push your waistband out while squatting down in the hopes that the waistband and hips in your pants, they'll loosen just a little bit. But only a month ago, these pants felt fine and not tight at all. And I mean, I get it. You don't cancel plans, but there are days where you don't want to leave the house because, let's be honest, you just feel like a balloon. So you go through 3 outfit changes and land on the one that makes you feel the least squeezed into. But after a while, unless it's a temporary or one-off case, your bloating doesn't just go away and it becomes really annoying because it's never just bloating. Unfortunately, it often comes with its special friend called gas. And this is something you can't hide unless you're a hermit. And it's nothing severe, but it's definitely persistent enough that you're aware of it and it makes you uncomfortable. And if it gets bad enough, it can get in the way of intimate relationships or being around other people because you're always holding it in. So you keep doing what seems to make sense, eliminating foods, simplifying your meals, drinking more water, and buying backup clothes that are a teeny bit bigger for those really off days. Or worse yet, you scale back on activities that take you outside of the house. You expect that eventually one of the adjustments you are making are going to work. And if you try everything, surely something has to work. But instead of fixing the problem, your body just gets more confusing because the bloating isn't responding to the changes that you're making. It's responding to something that you're unaware of. Last week, I was at a group event and a group of women were sitting around chatting a few hours after supper. They were all staying together for a few days, and at some point, digestion came up. Several of them mentioned feeling bloated and uncomfortable for most of the trip, and not just one meal, but days. So I asked a question: what's changed? They had plenty of explanations. The bloating made sense, just not for the reasons they were focused on. Now, bloating isn't necessarily telling you that a food is wrong. It's telling you your body is responding differently than it used to when it did feel good. And this happens when food, routines, or lifestyle no longer match your unique body type. Bloating, it's just a signal. And the shift isn't always finding the perfect food or eliminating certain foods. So initially, you need to ask yourself these two things. What changed before the bloating started showing up, and how long has it been going on? Because symptoms, they don't just show up for no reason. They are a result of an imbalance in the body. Bloating is your body saying something in your day-to-day hasn't been working for a while, or even if it's just short-term, just a few days. And this is why I don't use protocols. I start by identifying what your unique body type is and what no longer matches it. And once you understand the cause, you stop guessing. You stop treating bloating like a food puzzle that you haven't solved yet. You stop restricting, adjusting, and second-guessing every choice. The bloating doesn't disappear overnight, but it definitely stops feeling random until it's no longer there. And when a symptom makes sense, you're no longer reacting to it. You're deciding what actually needs to change. So you need to ask yourself, what shifted in my food, routines, or lifestyle before the bloating became something that wasn't just a one-off thing? And that's where the clue is coming from. You don't have a bloating problem. You have an interpretation problem. The next step is learning how to read your body this way consistently. That's the work behind Body CEO, opening in early 2026. And I will be sharing the details through my newsletter at tashamiller.co/newsletter, which is where you can sign up. The link will also be in the show notes. I'm glad you joined me this week, and I will see you back here next Tuesday. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, tap follow and leave a 5-star review down below. I read every single one, and it helps more women find this podcast. If you want to keep the conversation going, head to tashamiller.co for resources, offers, and all the ways to connect with me.